This is a quick tutorial to teach you how to use the Graphical Analysis app on your iPad. When you open the app, which looks like a little graph and it says Graphical, you'll see this screen here. This is a screen that will allow you to start a new data entry. It's also a place you can go to get old experiments. So any data that you've done in the past is going to be saved in this screen. So some of my past experiments are here. So if you ever want to get something, it's automatically saved. You don't have to save. You can always come back to this screen. But we're going to create a new experiment, which is this big button here that says Create an Experiment. When you click that button, this little pop-up menu will come up, and you want to choose Manual Entry because you're going to type in data that you've collected. This will take you to a screen with a data table where you can enter in your results, your data. A couple of tips on this screen. First, if you hold your finger down on top of one of the column headers where it says either X or Y right now, just touch that and hold down. It'll give you a pop-up menu where you can put in the name of the variable and its units, and then all of the data itself gets typed into these boxes. Once you've typed in your data table should look something. Once all of your data is entered into your data table, you use the wrench in the upper right hand corner to select one graph. That will bring you up to a screen that looks like this, and it will automatically plot the data in your first column on the x-axis and the data in whatever you put in the second column on the y-axis, but it's very, very easy to change. If you want to change what's on the x and y-axis, all you have to do is hold down your finger on top of either of the labels, either X or Y-axis. Just hold it down and you'll get a little pop-up menu that allows you to check and uncheck whatever variable you want. Another note about the graph is, for some strange reason, the x-axis doesn't automatically get labeled with the variable name that you entered into the table. So you will always have to hold your finger down on the x-axis, even if it already has the right variable graphed for you. You always have to hold down to change that label so that instead of saying just X, it'll say something such as diameter like mine shows here. Once you have all your data graphed, the next step will be to fit a line of best fit if you think that your data is linear. Sometimes we will see other graph shapes such as parabolas or an inverse relationship, and we'll talk about what to do with those in class. But once you have a linear relationship, you're going to put your finger on the screen and drag it across. When you've done it correctly, your screen and your data will be highlighted in gray like mine is now. And when you do that and it's all highlighted in gray, then just touch the screen once and this pop-up window will show up. And what you want is curve fit, and if you touch on where it says none, it will allow you to check the type of curve fit that you want. We are only ever going to use one type of curve fit. We're always going to want to use linear because we will do the work to get our data linear, and we'll talk more about that in class. Finally, once you've got your line of best fit and you've got both axes labeled, which you should have with variable name and units to have a well done graph, the last thing that a good graph needs is a caption or a title. And you'll get to the title by going to this gear, touching the gear in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. And that will give you a place right here to type in the title of your graph. A good title is often just y-axis variable versus x-axis variable. So the graph that I have here, a good title would be circumference versus diameter. Once you have your title, your graph should have all the features of a good graph. A title, labeled x and y axes, and a line of best fit with an equation for that line of best fit. Once all these things are done, your graph is complete.